Hello and welcome to Teal House Farm. Today the girls and I are going to show you how to make some delicious blackberry tea out of fresh picked leaves. Blackberry tea is a good source of vitamin C. It's also homegrown and organic here. We have so many wild blackberry bushes, so it's super easy to make. It'll keep us nice and warm and give us a little health boost in the winter. So we're making some more today to get stocked up. So to pick blackberries and blackberry leaves, we come over to the far field, which we don't actually do much with right now. Our neighbor cuts it for us. He cuts it down to hay and we let him keep the hay. We don't have any use for it right now, but in the next couple of years, we hope to maybe have a family milk cow and we'd be using that field, or this field, for that. We're pretty much out of blackberry season, right? No more berries, but these leaves are still good for making tea.
So good pick them?
But why do we have to be careful when we pick them?
Because they're spiky!
Yeah, they are.
Spiky.
Alright, Ivy. So
Like
the
this?
key is you want leaves that are don't have any spots or anything on them, and you want young leaves.
Spiky?
Because they're not spiky. So cut these here. We have our picked off leaves. We didn't get very many because I already have a bunch inside that I'll show you in a minute. Oh look, we got a bug friend. So what we're gonna do is pick the leaves all the way off the stem. It was faster just to cut clusters, and then we're gonna pick them off at home. We're gonna put them in here and just give them a good rinse, make sure all of our bug friends are off of them. Fortunately, since these are our leaves from our wild blackberries, we know that they are organic. Don't have to worry about that stuff. But there are bugs and dirt on them. So we'll rinse them off. We'll let them air dry for just a little bit so they're not soaked. The last thing you're going to need is you're going to need a clean and sterile glass jar. So I need to wash this one, if you can't tell. But the way to sterilize these, the easiest way is if you have a dishwasher, just run them through the dishwasher and that gets hot enough to sterilize them. If you don't have a dishwasher, you can put your oven on 225 and leave them in there for about 20 minutes. And that'll sterilize the clean jar as well. And then you want to let it, for this, you want to let it cool off. If you were going to can something, you would want to fill it while it was hot. But since we're going to ferment our leaves, we just want to let the jars cool off. So we're going to get that all ready right now. And then in a little bit, when the little kids take their nap, the big girls will help me finish the steps to fermenting and then drying the leaves to make our tea. And then you just pinch the leaves off. Oh, it's okay if it breaks. If you kind of, watch Mommy, if you fold the leaf like this, you don't get the, see how it's pokey on the back? So fold and pull. Is it gone? You put it in the trash can.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, so we have our rinsed off and somewhat dried leaves. And now the secret ingredient to fermenting your tea leaves, the rolling pin. Micah here is going to demonstrate. We are just going to lightly roll over the leaves to help crush out some of the juices.
This is how you put it. Ah! Like squares on the farm.
So this is our new jar. We're gonna ferment them for 1 to 2 weeks. And ferment just means they were rolled and not destroyed, but just rolled over a few times to help release some juices, and then just put in a sealed jar, and we're gonna let them sit. It helps bring out the flavor. And these have been sitting for about 2 weeks, and we're gonna dry these today to make tea. We have our dehydrator out. We're gonna lay the leaves on here. You wanna make sure they aren't on top of each other, because then they won't dry right, but you can pack them in pretty tightly. Timing really depends on how big your leaves are, also what kind of dehydrator you have, so it can really vary. You know they're ready when you pick the leaves up and they just crumble into a powder in your hands when you fold them, and then they're ready just to be stored in any sort of airtight container. About 2.5 hours, and our leaves are looking really dry. You can hear that, nice and crisp. See, I'll crunch one here for you. See, it crumbles very easily, doesn't feel wet at all. So we're gonna go ahead and unplug the dehydrator and press these into a bowl, and then put them in a nice clean jar, and that's it. I have learned this summer a little bit about dehydrating and making my own teas. Up here we have a mulberry right there, and on the right we have a chocolate blackberry mint.
It's the end of the video, so now we will give you a big dun dun dun. Let's see you tomorrow. In a few days. Next video, we will have videos of fixing the house, painting the house, anything you think of, any video you want us to make, we can make for you guys. And we'll make them.
Painting the house? Who's gonna paint the house?
Oh. Don't forget to comment below and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.